name is Nichol Pearlja A. Canwa, and I'm going to report about local Deixis. First, we will determine Deixis. Deixis is a technical term from Greek for one of the most basic things we do with utterances. It means pointing via language. Any linguistic forms used to accomplish this pointing is called a deictic expression. Place Deixis. License 1997 says that place or space Deixis concerns the specification of location relative to anchorage points in the speech content, event, or where the relative location of people and things is being indicated. Two basic ways of referring to objects: by describing or naming them, or number two, by locating them. Examples. Locations can be specified relative to other objects, such as the station is 200 yards from the cathedral. Kabul lies at latitude 34 degrees, longitude 70 degrees. Or locations can be specified relative to the location of participants. It's 200 yards away. Kabul is 400 miles west of here. Some pure-place deictic words. Symbolic usage of here, pragmatically given unit of space that includes the location of the speaker. I'm writing to say I'm having a marvelous time here. Here and there are adverbs. Adverbs, here and there, contrast on a proximal distal dimension. Here means proximal, that means near. There means distal, or it means more distant. Example, bring that here and take this there. Examples for here. Place it here. Our crazy aunt stayed here, whole life and never left ever. Examples for there. Shut up. Something's in there, moving. Demonstrative pronouns are more clearly organized in a proximal distal dimension. This and that are demonstrative pronouns. This, the object in a pragmatically given area close to the speaker's location. In that, the object beyond the pragmatically given area close to the speaker's location. Empathetic Deixis, a shift from that to this to show empathy and from this to that to show emotional distance. Fillmore 1971 and Lakoff 1974. Example, this is it, that's it. Some languages have demonstratives with 3- and 4-way distinction under proximal distant dimension. Northwest American language Language demonstrative distinguish between this one right here, this one nearby, the one over there, the one way over there. Philippine language in Samal, 4 kinds of participant rule. First is close to the speaker. Second, close to the addressee. Third, close to the audience. Number 4, close to the persons present but outside the conversational group that consists of speaker, addressees, and the audience. The systems. In the system of Australia and New Guinea languages, it distinguished the 3-dimensional space, having demonstrative gloss such as the one above the speaker, the one below the speaker, the one level with the speaker. Some systems combine additional exotic deictic parameters like upriver, downriver, or visible, non-visible to speaker to produce enormous arrays of demonstrative terms. The demonstrative determiners combine with non-deictic terms for spatial organization to yield complex deictic descriptions of location. The non-deictic conceptual organization of space includes all those distinctions between surfaces, spaces, enclosures, containers, and so on, and between fronts, backs, tops, sides of objects, not to mention widths, lengths, height, and etc. Thus, for example, this side of the box means the surface or the box that can be called a side which is nearest to the location of the speaker. The second example is this side of the tree, means that area of the tree visible from the point where the speaker is at sitting. The third one is the cat is behind the car, where behind the car have either a deictic usage or a non-deictic usage. Lastly, Bob is the man to the left of Mark, where Bob may be to Mark's own left, non-deictic, or to the left from the speaker's point of view, deictic. As a result, the deictic non-deictic ambiguity is very general and plug-use the recipients of expressions.
noted fairly close connections between deictic determiners, third-person pronouns, and the definite article. All three categories are definite, and definiteness may perhaps be an essentially deictic notion. Lyon suggests that this retains a pronominal element as well as containing an adverbial element similar to here. Let us consider some motion verbs that have built-in deictic components. English come versus go makes some sort of distinction between the direction of motion relative to participants in the speech event. As a first approximation, we may note that his coming seems to gloss as he is moving towards the speaker's location at CT, while his going glosses as he is moving away from the speaker's location at CT. The suggested gloss for come would in fact be roughly correct for Spanish veneer or Japanese kuro, but it will not handle English usages like I'm coming, since this cannot mean the speaker is moving towards the location of the speaker, but rather means the speaker is moving towards the location of the address at CT. Such usage may have diachronically arisen from a polite deictic shift to the address's point of view. In Japanese, one must here say the equivalent of I go. Taking this into account, we may suggest that English come glosses as movement towards either the location of the speaker or towards the location of the address at CT. However, this won't quite do either. One can say, when I'm in the office, you can come to see me, where come glosses as movement towards the location of the speaker at the time of some other specified event. Let us call this reference time. Such usage is still ultimately deictic, in that it makes reference to participant role, but it is not directly placed deictic, in that there is no anchorage to the location of the present speech event. In narrative, we sometimes dispense with even this last vintage of deictic content, using come relative to the location of protagonist rather than participants, but this non-deictic usage we shall ignore. Our third approximation to a gloss for come is therefore motion towards speaker's location or address's location at either city or reference time. However, as there is a deictic usage of come that is based not on participants' actual location, but on their normative location or home base. Hence, the possibility of saying when neither speaker nor address is at home, I came over several times to visit you, but you were never there. So we must append another clause to our gloss, namely, or motion towards the home base maintained at city by either speaker or address. Very similar remarks throughout can be made for go and also for verbs like bring and take. Further complexities in place Deixis arise if the speaker is in motion. It then becomes quite possible to use temporal terms in order to refer to deictic locations, as in, I first heard that ominous rattle 10 miles ago. There's a good fast food joint just 10 minutes from here. This raises the issue about whether time Deixis or place Deixis is more basic. Lyons inclines to a view that, since place deictic, terms like this and that can be used in a temporal sense, especially to refer to proximal and distal parts of an unfolding discourse. Place Deixis is more fundamental than time Deixis. Such a view is favorable to localism, the theory that attempts to reduce non-spatial to spatial expressions. In addition, deictic locations always have to be specified with respect to the location of a participant at coding time.